Now we're going to actually jump into another report on Google Search Console. We got to keep it interesting. Google Search Console is the best technical SEO tool there is. Google is telling you how they're indexing your pages within this indexing report. And it's very powerful to review this report, especially if you feel like you might have tech problems, if you have a big website. You really need to know how Google is crawling and indexing your website. And so you start off with just this non-index versus index pages, but you're not actually really worried about this sheet here. I mean, it's interesting. Sometimes you can see like, oh, your index pages went down by a lot, and that's going to be worrying, right? Or your non-index pages are doing something strange. But really what you want to do is go down and say this field, why pages aren't indexed. These are the ones that aren't being served on Google. So you have a major problem if Google is not even showing your pages to users, and there's a problem with that. Almost every GSC is going to have a list of issues here. I'm going to go and tell you actually the ones that matter and which are kind of, so that you don't have to worry about. Right off the bat, page with it redirect, I don't care as much about. The main thing I care about here is the 404 pages. So you probably heard of a 404 page. If you haven't, it's essentially an error page. So Google landed on a page and it tells you, hey, this is an empty page. Shouldn't really exist. These are definitely a problem. You don't want Google to be encountering a lot of 404 pages. There's a vast reasons for this, but I'm not going to go too deep into it. Just know that you want to clean those up. And how you clean those up is that you export them and then you redirect them within whatever website you're using. So like if it's Shopify, WordPress, you create redirects and you can learn that online. Another report that I care a lot about is soft 404s. Same reason as the 404, you don't want Google hitting those. But the next one that is you do not get this report anywhere else is the crawled currently not indexed and discovered currently not indexed. And this website only have the crawled, but you also find a lot of times the discovered not currently indexed. These are pages that Google is literally not indexing. And so sometimes you'll open up this report and you'll find some of your money pages, like some of the pages that you want to rank and that you're trying to rank, you're optimizing them, and Google's just not indexing them. And so it's super important to go into this report and see which pages Google isn't indexing. On average, usually you'll look into here and you'll see a bunch of useless pages. So even here we see a bunch of like weird, parameter URLs and all kinds of kind of crazy stuff. What this tells me is that you should clean these URLs up. So ideally they shouldn't exist, or they should have like a no index tag or, robots.txt tell Google to not crawl them, because they are being crawled. But here's where you can start to see like what kind of pages. And I would go through this report because a lot of times, I would say almost all the time, you have a bunch of wild pages that you don't really care about. And then hidden in that list, you'll find a page that you actually want indexed. So once you find a page that you want indexed, you can look at it and you're actually able to click on it and you can inspect URL. And this will retrieve data directly from Google's index. So we see URL is not on Google, and we can even request indexing. So if you do have a page that you want indexed and is not indexing, you can request indexing